at the beginning of St. Michael's week, I thought it would be good to have someone speak to us from outside our faith, our philosophy, our religion, as it were. And so I've invited Rinpoche, the superintendent of the Buddhist Centre in Baldwin, to come and speak with us here today. He was here, in fact, last year, as we blessed the rocks at the beginning of St. Michael's Day. So at the beginning of St. Michael's week, I'm asking that you might give him a very warm welcome to this service today. Would you please come Welcome.
My pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about your Buddhist commitment, where I know that there are different Buddhist expressions or ways of interpreting Buddhism. In particular, which group do you belong to?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for inviting me here. It's my pleasure always to work with Father Macnab, Dr. Macnab. There's two questions raised, and the first one is the perspective, Buddhist perspective about the religion and way of life. And the second one, I'll get back to you to ask. Now, the Buddhist stands for just like all the other religions. Yeah? Someone calls it a religion, someone calls it a philosophy, someone calls it a science, someone calls it a way of life. So it can be looked from many different perspective, views, and understandings, and the following and the followers. My understanding is quite simple, that you can be a priest, you can teach others, as well as you can also understand and maintain in your day-to-day life, all in all activities, what you do, what you speak. So the Buddhism is, I'm not saying Buddhism is quite other than others, but we are all same, just one as other religion. And it is the most of all, what I feel is that it respects other. The respect is the Buddhist religion. And compassion, kindness, all these things, just like other religion, it also has this one. And the second question was?
Well, I'd like to know now, what way are you different from, say, the Dalai Lama? Are you of the same group? Are you following the Dalai Lama?
Oh, sure. We all follow Dalai Lama, and we are followers of Dalai Lama and the citizens of Dalai Lama and the citizens of Tibet. But Dalai Lama, even though he is our king, he is our, the most utmost holy being, just as the second Buddha. But it also distincts from four schools. We have four schools in Buddhism, Tibetan tradition, and I'm one of that, which is called Satya tradition. And within Satya tradition, there are other subsects. But generally, more commonly, and officially, there are four schools. Like I'm Satya, His Holiness Dalai Lama is from Gelu. And Kaju, there's a Karmapa, and from Nyingma, there's a Tigwe Chenze Rinpoche, His Holiness. So there are four heads, and my head, or my boss, or my root guru, or my teacher, whatever, he is the one, and my ultimate soul is His Holiness the Satya Chenze, one who lives in India, Rajput, Dehradun, Missouri. Missouri is the British name.
And you'll notice, you may have noticed, that I've spoken some words of the Dalai Lama here on the paper. He said, we all have the desire for happiness and joy, and we all wish to overcome human suffering. And we can all develop gentleness, compassion, and a sense of universal spirituality.
Yes, of course, this is what we say, and we do, and we follow it. And I strongly believe in these things with love, loving, kindness, and compassion, compassioning, showing compassion, loving them. This is the way to live, and this is also our soul, and this is the goodness of each one of the human being. And this is actually the base, and this is the care that we first had from our mother, And yeah, greater scale until we were 5 or 6. So from there we mature and we sometimes just submerge such things. And now we have to reimage such things, you know, and we have to work on it. Yeah.
We're hearing a great deal this weekend, in fact, about how religion can be very destructive, how violence is ready to explode at any point, how any one of us can be part of that violence, either politically or philosophically. What part does Buddhism play in trying to bring a more compassionate or a more peaceful world when there's so much violence ready to explode around us?
Yeah, the word religion is now, it is getting really quite hard to understand religious because we can see. But it is also the people's, how they name the religion and how they get the meaning out of religion. Religion is actually not something that, you know, takes you sometimes in the line or anything. It is actually the part of our life. Religion, actually, the simple word is for that is spirituality. And I normally say we are not human beings on a spiritual path. We are spiritual beings in the human path. So, you know, therefore, and in Buddhism, the way to see the religion, actually, the Buddha, when he was living there wasn't any ism or any religion word. And he even never knew that, you know, this is going to be Buddhism. He just said, and by some lines to guide others how to, you know, look after themselves, not to be liberated, not to become a Buddha, you know, just to look after themselves and their spouse and families and awareness and mindful of others. This is what, you know, Jesus said, and I think the Buddha also said. And they two are very similar to each other, the theories and the way to help others, way to, you know, let them live, how to live, and even how to eat. And
you are associated, or very much associated, with the Buddhist Center in Baldwin. What happens there? What do you do at your center?
This is the one that I wanted to put in the last, just previously, the answer. What I do is mainly I teach the Buddhist philosophy, and I read lots of other books like, you know, brain theories, and they call it brain doctrine, and Buddhism is more about mind doctrine. And I try to read both of these two books and then mingle in my head and make, you know, synthesize all these meanings and then, you know, speak out or throw out whatever, you know, makes any sense to others. And the most top of all, whatever we say and think and do or not do is to merge, to bring into a meditation. And over there, there's the great place that you can just, you know, cook the best food. That's the meditation. And this is what I highly, you know, emphasize about, and this is what I try to do.
Do you have many people showing an interest in your center and your Buddhism at Baldwin?
Yeah, this is quite a good question. The day I started, there was only 2, and I was the 3rd one. So we were teaching with each other, and I normally say, you know, I learn from you, because without you, I wouldn't learn anything, because I wouldn't put in first place any, you know, effort to study. But now the things are growing, and especially now that we are studying on the Buddhist Book of the Dead, you know, not dying, but about the dead. So this shows quite, you know, lots of interest in others, and then now we have a quite large number ever since we started this, and that was 2 years after we started some mind philosophy. Now we are putting those philosophies into practical manner so that we don't have any more fear about the death. Death is just a transition into a new life. And this shows a great interest, and I'm happy to see lots of faces nowadays in the evening of Wednesday.
And so, how long has the centre been operating in Baldwin?
Well, this started in, I think, not quite sure, in 2000 or 2001.
So
yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming today. It's important, I think, that we hear what is going on in our midst, and how here is another influence, another person, and other colleagues doing some very important work in a time when violence and and so many difficulties easily exploding around us. So we want to thank you for coming here as our guest today. I hope that you'll come again.
Thank you very much, everyone, for having me, and most of all, Father Macnab. I really feel he is a very genuine and a very kind of outcoming, very touching person. So therefore, I feel like working with him, even though I have lots of, askings to join others, but I feel this is the most closest my hometown. Thank you very much.
When he says things like that, we can surely have him back, don't you think? But meantime, we'd like to give you a small gift as a memento of your visit here today. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.